week on JambarTV, we'll look into everyone's reaction to the solar eclipse on April 8th. Then we'll look at the band Coastal Club's upcoming single. We'll also look at the hirings of 2 new head coaches for YSU Athletics. Hello and welcome back to JambarTV. I'm Matt Sautler. I hope you're having a great Friday. I sure am. Over 30 million people from Canada to Mexico watched Monday's total solar eclipse, including the YSU community. Editor-in-Chief Molly Burke has more on the celestial celebrations.
Some offices at YSU were closed for the solar eclipse, including us at the Jambar. Others were out hosting viewing events.
Ward Beecher Planetarium partnered with Foxconn EV System in Lordstown to host a viewing from the parking lot. Patrick Durrell, director of the planetarium, said hundreds gathered to watch in awe.
So I think a lot of people were just like, holy smokes, I mean, this is amazing. I mean, we had friends up who were astronomers themselves and they hadn't seen one, and they're like, you know, this is an amazing thing to see.
If you saw a bright red light during the eclipse, Durrell said that was a solar flare. Witnessing the celestial phenomenon was a highlight for him. Heading north was the Society of Physics students, who hosted an event at Geneva-on-the-Lake in Ashtabula County. Vice President of SBS, Amanda Keating, said she was worried about the weather, but the clouds parted just in time.
You could hear people cheering, and everyone just kind of everyone was cheering and screaming, and we were freaking out because almost none of us had seen something like this before. So it was the only word I have been able to find to describe this was magical.
Around 45 students got on a bus to the Great Lakes Science Center in Cleveland for an event hosted by Student Activities. At $10 a ticket, attendees had the chance to visit NASA's Total Eclipse Festival and talk with scientists. Donald Van Horn, a senior sports broadcasting telecommunications major, said the best part was watching the eclipse and experiencing its effects.
A sight like this will be more than 400 years from now.
But once it started to get darker, it cooled down to almost 50 degrees. So I felt that chill, and it was almost kind of an eerie experience. A good kind of eerie, I would say, not a scary kind of eerie.
The next total solar eclipse crossing through northeast Ohio will take place in 2099. If you didn't get to see this year's, head to our website to check out our photos.
Reporting for the Jambar, I'm Molly Burke.
The YSU Student Government Association re-elected their officers. Jordan Pintar was re-elected as SGA president, and Sophia Myers was re-elected as SGA vice president. Pintar and Myers selected VPs that assumed their positions following their reappointment. Pintar said the SGA will continue initiatives started in the 2023-2024 academic year. Current initiatives like the Green Space Project, Dawn Project, connections to Yogo Bike Share, and supporting the Penguin Pantry highlight the SGA's focus for the 2024-2025 academic year.
Yeah, so as a candidate, obviously coming from a position already in office, looking to continue a lot of the initiatives that we haven't really been able to finish up, so.
Executive board positions will be decided at a meeting on April 22nd in the Chestnut Room of Kilcawley Center. Youngstown State University graduate Andrew Morgan returned to campus for a presentation on robots. Along with Morgan was Spot. Spot is a robotic dog created by the Boston Dynamics AI Institute, where Morgan works as a research scientist. Morgan graduated from YSU with both degrees in both electrical engineering and computer science. He also graduated from Yale with a PhD in robotics. He said the Spot robots can be used practically in the workspace.
Typically, these type of Spot robots are very often seen in factories and settings that are very maybe dangerous or mundane or maybe dirty. So in a factory setting, you'll have maybe some robots going around checking valves or taking temperature readings of different bearings to make sure that a machine is not going to fail. Because they are a robot, they're able to log this.
For his presentation, Morgan had Spot pick up dog toys, pull chairs, and demonstrated the robot's agility and speed. There have been complaints about the safety of students crossing the street at YSU. Jambar reporter Christopher Gillette has more.
Students have been concerned about drivers not paying attention to walkers on campus. Criminal justice student Alexis Curtis said she almost got hit by a car turning right at a red light.
A crosswalk over by the bookstore on right by Lincoln. They were trying to make a right turn and I was trying to cross, and I don't know if they didn't see me, didn't care what, they just turned and I had to back up in order not to be hit.
Curtis hopes people will pay attention at the light. She gave a suggestion on how the issue can be solved.
Maybe, I don't know really, just include maybe turns, the lights, turning light, just so maybe that will give them time rather than going when people are trying to be in the crosswalk.
Director of Support Services, Danny O'Connell, said students have their own responsibility for keeping themselves and others safe.
Well, I think, personal responsibility. What's important is A, you cross at the appropriate places. B is when there are devices to aid in the crossing, make sure you use them.
If you have any concerns with crosswalk safety at YSU, please contact YSU PD or YSU Support Services. For JambarTV, I'm Christopher Gillette.
The past week has certainly been rainy. Let's see if Zonde has any predictions for next week's weather.
April showers are in full spring as we will see plenty of rain to start the weekend. I have a more detailed report after the break.
So together we ride, certified. It's together we ride. We gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever. We gon' ride. We gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. It's together we rise. We gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
We know you hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Why go to a school in the Mahoning Valley of northeastern Ohio, surprisingly beautiful as that may be? Why live on a campus that sits on the edge of the Rust Belt, historic and inspiring as that may be? In short, why choose Youngstown State? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the future, we take a back seat to nobody because you can afford us. And we will afford you the opportunity to build the future you want and the life you desire. Why Youngstown State? Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together. Youngstown State University. Now you know why.
All right, so who knows why?
I know why. For starters, I'm getting a top-tier education without the price tag. Can you say that? Engineering, sports, music, business. I can do anything here. I'm getting my hands dirty, learning what my friends are only reading about. I'm part of something bigger here. I'm proud to bleed red and black. So yeah, I know why. It's not a question. It's the answer. Youngstown State University. Know why.
Welcome back to JambarTV. I'm Zonde Smith and this is your weekly weather outlook. Let's take a look at my 4-day forecast. Today, temps will reach 52 degrees with a 91% chance for rain. There is also a chance for thunderstorms this evening. Tonight, that chance for rain is going to slightly decrease to 71% and the temps will drop to 40 degrees. On Saturday, it will be partly sunny with a 0% chance for rain and cloud coverage will be at 26%. Temps will reach 59 degrees. At night, the low will be 45 degrees. On Sunday, it will be partly cloudy with cloud coverage at 70%. There is also a 25% chance for rain. The chance for rain will increase to 40% at night, with temps dropping to 54 degrees. Strong thunderstorms are likely throughout the night. On Monday, the high will be 79 degrees with partly sunny skies. There's also a 25% chance for rain, which will reduce as we move into the night. The low will be 56 degrees. Much of the southern U.S. from Texas to the East Coast is struggling with powerful, dangerous storms that have now turned deadly. Laura Aguirre from CNN brings us more on Wednesday's wild weather and where it's heading next.
It's not a good day to be out on the road.
Floodwaters high enough to creep into fire trucks and submerge smaller vehicles. Savage overnight storms swept over parts of Texas, a number of towns suffering damage to homes, businesses, trees, and power lines. More than 400 people have been assisting with water rescues in and around Kirbyville, say local fire officials. Even some rescuers needed rescue.
Sad to say, but we're stuck in the ditch.
Torrential rain and high winds roared east along the Gulf Coast Wednesday, triggering dangerous flash floods and spawning multiple tornadoes. Parts of Texas and Louisiana are already under more than a foot of rain, with more expected at a rate of up to 3 inches an hour through the day. Multiple injuries, none major, were reported Wednesday afternoon after a suspected tornado touched down in Slidell, Louisiana, according to parish leaders there.
The rain was all over the place. My car was shaking. Other vehicles wrecked. Power lines down. Worst case scenario that you could imagine.
The National Weather Service says wind gusts up to 80 miles an hour are possible in several areas. In Mississippi, officials are warning residents in cities like Jackson to brace for potentially intense tornadoes there as the storms move through. Forecasters predict these dangerous conditions will move across Florida's panhandle and north along the East Coast and into the D.C. and Baltimore area Thursday.
This might be the worst storm I've ever lived through.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
That's all we have for weather this week, but stick around for John's Student Life Update here in his studio.
All right, so who knows why?
I know why. For starters, I'm getting a top-tier education without the price tag. Can you say that? Engineering, sports, music, business. I can do anything here. I'm getting my hands dirty, learning what my friends are only reading about. I'm part of something bigger here. I'm proud to bleed red and black. So yeah, I know why. It's not a question. It's the answer. Youngstown State University. Know why.
Why Youngstown State University? Because when it comes to the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Youngstown State University. Now you know why.
Why Youngstown State University? Because I'm getting a top-tier education without the price tag. I can do anything here. I know why. It's not a question. It's the answer. Youngstown State University. Know why.
We know you hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Why go to a school in the Mahoning Valley of northeastern Ohio, surprisingly beautiful as that may be? Why live on a campus that sits on the edge of the Rust Belt, historic and inspiring as that may be? In short, why choose Youngstown State? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the future, we take a back seat to nobody because you can afford us. And we will afford you the opportunity to build the future you want and the life you desire. Why Youngstown State? Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together. Youngstown State University. Now you know why.
Hello everyone and welcome back to JambarTV. I'm John Ostapowicz and this is your Student Life Update. YSU hosted Quest 2024 on April 2nd on the second floor of Kilcawley Center. The conference featured graduate and ungraduated research projects in the form of oral and poster presentations. Dr. Molly Hardup, director of the Sokolov Honors College, encourages students to participate in Quest, highlighting the importance of a local conference.
No one in the world knows your research better than you. And so getting over that nervous, factor of what questions someone might ask you, Quest is a great opportunity, right here at home, so to speak, at YSU, to tell the story of your research or your scholarship, in a comfortable environment,
A similar research conference will be happening on campus on April 16th from 12 to 5 p.m. Now, students in the Sokolov Honors College gathered at Stambaugh Auditorium on April 5th for the college's annual honors formal. With a basket raffle and tickets sold at $25 each, the event raised over $2,000 for the American Heart Association. Caitlin Sapp, treasurer for the Honors Trustees, said the formal was a chance for honors students to celebrate their success.
It's sort of a celebration of everything that we've accomplished in honors throughout the year. So we invite all of our students, and we even invite them to bring whoever they want.
Honors Trustees President Gabriella Porta said a highlight was meeting with students.
We're both teaching assistants, so a lot of our freshman students were there. So we got to see them, kind of connect with them, make more friends, and kind of like tell them what we do on campus, invite them if they want to like do more things with us, which was fun.
Some of the big ticket items for the raffle included a stay for two near New York City and Ohio State Buckeyes football helmet. After dinner and desserts, students could dance in the Starry Night decorated ballroom. Finding healthy foods throughout the day can be challenging for some students. Dr. Zara Rollins is a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and professor at YSU. Dr. Rollins suggests that students prep meals, especially for busy schedules.
There are several factors to consider. One of them is time management. How much time do you have to find food if you brought none to campus? So one thing I would advise is if you know your schedule is very tight on campus, to maybe think about meal prepping and bringing foods that are healthy and are going to nourish your body while you're running around on campus.
Rollins also explains what she labels as unhealthy and some things that students should avoid.
You have to look at the quality of food sometimes. You know, people might think, oh, I'll just get a salad, it's healthy, but then they pour a whole bunch of salad dressing on it, which then sort of takes away some of the health benefits. Or they may pick up things that are, you know, fast food sort of items, and those are not necessarily the best choices. Now, when it comes down to having food or having no food, then of course having some food is better.
Rollins also suggests that alongside food, students make their hydration an obligation. YSU is home to one of the Mahoning Valley's oldest churches. Today, it houses some of Youngstown's finest art. Editor-in-Chief Molly Burke gives us a tour.
First Christian Church was built in 1933 on Wick Avenue across from Bliss Hall. 80 years later, the building was sold to the Butler Institute of American Art. Now the Butler's North Annex, Director of Art Education, Joyce Mistovich, says the space is frequently used for performances.
This is not a church anymore, but it serves as a wonderful venue for weddings, concerts. Dana School of Music has concerts here. We have piano recitals here. The last Sunday of every month, there's a performance here.
Visitors can sit in the church's original pews and see its giant stained glass window. Mistovich says the window was a highlight for the church and remains one for the museum.
It is this glorious mix of values of blue, accented by some reds and other primary colors.
Located in Butler North's upper level is several art galleries centered around the theme Americana. Its ground floor is home to the Butler's Education Wing, where anyone can take art classes. While it's a challenge to upkeep the nearly 100-year-old building, Executive Director Louis Sona says it's had upgrades.
Classrooms are first rate. The offices of the education people, including our education director, those galleries are beautiful and beautifully lit.
The Butler hopes to soon renovate the basement area and plans to put a permanent exhibit of African American art in its galleries. Reporting for the Jambar, I'm Molly Burke.
Now anyone can visit the museum Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 4, and Sunday, noon to 4. Now, for the first time in almost 4 years, the Cincinnati-based band Coastal Club will release a new single on April 12th titled Cigarettes. Coastal Club consists of lead singer and guitarist Alexander Herlinger, bassist Avery Benner, and drummer David McGuire. The band headlined the Beachland Ballroom and Tavern on April 5th in Cleveland and played Cigarettes live. Herlinger said that the new single has been in the works for a while.
Cigarettes is a song we've had for a while. We just haven't released it yet out into the world, and we're really excited to do that.
Cigarettes is now available to stream on Spotify, Apple Music, and Deezer. Up next, we have our how-to guy, Aleska Radenovic, giving us a scoop on what YSU is doing to keep students safe in sex.
Let's explore the efforts YSU has taken to educate their students on sexual health. So how to have safe sex? Let's find out. Joy Tang, Associate Professor of Psychological Sciences, gives us a better understanding of what it means to have safe sex.
Sex is safe both in terms of physical safety, right? So safety from diseases, safety from violence, safety from coercion, but also safety in the sense of psychological safety.
Tang believes in absence of any of these factors, sex becomes unsafe. But what happens to people who have already engaged in unsafe sex? According to Rose McClurkin, president of YSU's Planned Parenthood Student Association, there are several steps a student can take.
Those crisis modes and that stressful situation of not knowing what to do, we provide the information so that people do know what to do, so that folks know where to get help and know where to get the health care that's available to them, either at free or reduced price as a student.
Planned Parenthood Student Association offers free condoms and Plan B pills. Yet with all these resources, Rose adds that students still feel shy or ashamed to ask for help. Why is that? We sat down with Danielle Class, a registered nurse and assistant professor in nursing, to discuss misconceptions about sexual safety and education.
A lot of the misconceptions have been around for many, many years. And what happens is we adopt these ideas that we have that are from what our parents and our grandparents thought, and we kind of push those down through the culture. So that's why sex ed is so important.
Remember, there's nothing to be ashamed of when seeking information or help in these matters. Whether you have questions, need resources, or support, you can reach out to the Planned Parenthood Student Association, Mercy Health here on campus, or even your personal healthcare provider. This is Alexa Radenovic reporting for JambarTV. Stay safe.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this week's Student Life Update, but stick around for Taziah Howard with the sports update when we return.
All right, so who knows why?
I know why.
Good luck.
For starters, I'm getting a top-tier education without the price tag. Can you say that? Engineering, sports, music, business. I can do anything here. I'm getting my hands dirty, learning what my friends are only reading about. I'm part of something bigger here. I'm proud to bleed red and black. So yeah, I know why. It's not a question. It's the answer. Youngstown State University. Know why.
Why Youngstown State University? Because when it comes to the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Youngstown State University. Now you know why.
Why Youngstown State University? Because I'm getting a top-tier education without the price tag. I can do anything here. I know why. It's not a question. It's the answer. Youngstown State University. Know why.
We know you hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Why go to a school in the Mahoning Valley of northeastern Ohio, surprisingly beautiful as that may be? Why live on a campus that sits on the edge of the Rust Belt, historic and inspiring as that may be? In short, why choose Youngstown State? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the future, we take a back seat to nobody because you can afford us. And we will afford you the opportunity to build the future you want and the life you desire. Why Youngstown State? Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together. Youngstown State University. Now you know why.
Welcome back. I'm Tazai Howard, and this is your weekly sports update. The search for a new head coach of the Youngstown State University women's volleyball team concluded on April 6th with Riley Jarrett. With Aline Scott's resignation in February, Jarrett became the 11th head coach in program history. She joins YSU after 4 seasons at the Division II level at West Liberty University. She leaves WLU with the highest career win percentage in program history and helped the Hilltoppers win more than 74% of their matches. Ethan Faulkner was officially hired the new head coach of the Youngstown State University men's basketball team on April 1st. YSU Athletics held an official press conference for Faulkner at 3:30 p.m. on April 10th to talk with the public about his future plans for the program.
Style of play-wise,
assured
how we're going to play. If it's not broke, don't fix it, right? So we've been top 25 in the country in scoring 2 years in a row. Made great strides defensively, finishing second in the league in scoring defense last year. Much of that will remain the same.
Faulkner assured the fans of Youngstown State that the style will resemble the winning culture of the previous seasons.
What an honor it is to be your next head coach. I'm humbled by the support from so many that have reached out. It's been truly remarkable to feel the support not only from this community, from my hometown, from our current roster, so many people, and I'm humbled by that.
Coach Faulkner and the men's basketball team will have a busy offseason and will be back in action for the fall semester to begin the 2024-2025 season. For the second time in program history, the Youngstown State University bowling team will advance to the NCAA Final National Championship. The Penguins earned a spot in the Final Four after defeating the University of Nebraska for the regional championship title. Head coach Doug Tuberski said the team's simple mindset during tournaments helps them succeed.
We know no matter who you bowl in this, really, they're all challenges, they're all battles. These teams are all talented and all very well coached and all good teams. So we know we have to stay focused and just focus on our process and our work and just keep it simple, really just simple science as we call it, and just go out there and bowl and hopefully the pins fall our way.
Joining the Penguins in the semifinal are fellow Conference USA members Jacksonville State University, Arkansas State University, and Sam Houston State University. The tournament is set to begin on April 12th. The Youngstown State University men's tennis team wrapped up the month of March with 2 matches against the Horizon League opponents on the road. On March 29th, the team traveled to play IUPUI, where the Jaguars defeated the Penguins 4-3 in a close match. The following day, on March 30th, the team traveled to NKU. The Norse defeated YSU in another tight matchup by a final of 4-3. The team's April 4th match against Le Moyne was canceled. But the Penguins traveled to Chicago State April 7th for the team's second meeting of the season. The Penguins snapped its 2-game losing streak with a victory of 6-1 over CSU. In the match, YSU won the doubles points and went on to win 5 of 6 singles matches as they swept the singles series versus the Cougars. With the win, Youngstown State moved to 8-9 on the season and 2-3 in Horizon League play. The Penguins will return home for 2 straight games starting on April 13th versus NKU and then IUPUI on April 14th for Senior Day. After competing in the YSU Spring Invitational April 7th and 8th, the Youngstown State women's golf team wrapped up their regular season and is now preparing for the Horizon League Championships. The team competed in 5 tournaments this spring in Ohio, Florida, and Kentucky. On February 10th, 11th, and 12th, the Columbia Classic in Melbourne, Florida, hosted by Columbia University, the team finished 11th out of 16 teams in the field. Following the Classic, the team's next competition stayed in Florida, in Gainesville, for the Howard University Lady Bison Invitational on March 4th and 5th. A top 5 finish came for the Gwins as they finished 4th between their 11 competitors. Moving to March 18th and 19th, the team traveled to Prospect, Kentucky for the Neville Meade Collegiate hosted by Cleveland State University. 10 total teams in the tournament and a 6th place finish for YSU with a 79 over par total score. To round out on March 25th and 26th, the team competed in the Batavia, Ohio for the Julie hosted by Northern Kentucky. The team finished 8th out of 13 total teams. For the regular season finale, Youngstown State hosted the YSU Spring Invitational, where the team came 2nd out of 6 teams. Akron University was the winner of the event. The team is prepping for the Horizon League Golf Championships, which begin on April 20th and run through the 22nd. YSU will travel Howey in the Hills, Florida for the 3-day event. Live streaming will be available after the event starts. That's all we have for the sports update. Zonde will be back in the weather recap when we come back.
At the start of the weekend, there will be partly cloudy skies and with scattered rain showers. Temps will be in its 50s throughout the weekend. On Monday, those spring showers will be in full swing with a 55% chance for thunderstorms. That's all we have for JambarTV this weekend. Stay safe, Penguins.
Support for JambarTV is provided in part by the YSU Foundation and the Jane F. Lamb Charitable Foundation. Thank you.